The pursuit of science brought Hannah Shafaat from sunny California to rainy Germany. She's interested in alternative sources of power generation and the fuels of the future.
I'm really interested in the field of alternate energy and sort of using what nature has done and nature as a guide to help us understand and then also help us move forward and develop our own ways to sort of combat this energy problem and really use the sun, use renewable resources in order to come up with more sustainable fuels and sustainable sort of solutions.
She's come to the Max Planck Institute for Bioinorganic Chemistry in Mülheim to conduct research on the synthetic production of hydrogen. The institute cultivates a species of bacteria that produces a special enzyme.
These bacteria can make hydrogen. They do so pretty much under ambient conditions. If we can learn how they do it, and we can learn exactly how this protein works, then that can drive some chemical knowledge, and it can also drive sort of technological applications of using this protein.
The proteins that Hannah Shafaat is looking for are enzymes called hydrogenases. They split molecules that contain the element into their component parts. Her first task is to isolate the enzyme from the bacteria. That can be done only under very special conditions. The bacteria can't come into contact with oxygen. That would kill them.
It becomes a huge problem to study it because we live in a world with oxygen. So you need to use chambers like this. You need to use anaerobic environments so that you can study, purify, you can identify these different states of the protein. Hi.
Want to discuss something?
Yeah, I'd love to show you some new.
A meeting with Wolfgang Lubitz, Shafaat's advisor. Someday she hopes to lead her own laboratory. She and Lubitz share a passion for hydrogen. Lubitz says the gas is an environmentally friendly power source and believes that in the future it'll be the fuel of choice for motorized vehicles.
It doesn't produce CO2, which is a greenhouse gas. That's what you get when you burn hydrocarbons like gasoline or natural gas. With hydrogen, all you get is water, which of course is great.
So far, the idea of using a bacterial enzyme to produce hydrogen is just a theory. One way to make it work sustainably would be to harness sunlight to generate the hydrogen.
We can take that hydrogen gas and imagine pumping it into a tank. So we use the sun to generate electrons to pump the hydrogenase to power it one direction.
A complex process that might be possible in the future. But for now, the researchers are busy just trying to understand the enzyme. To do so, Shafaat and her colleagues are using some specialized technology to analyze its structure.
We have arguably the best EPR lab in the world here. We have 10 instruments, and you can do pretty much any experiment that you want to do at any field, at any frequency, with almost any sample. And so I basically came here because I did a little bit of EPR as a graduate student, and I realized how valuable the information that you can get out is.
The researcher says it may take another 20 years before it's possible to use bacteria to produce hydrogen. Basic research takes time, but Hannah Shafaat is still young enough to dream about making the fuel of the future.